Hello and welcome to the channel. The channel, I'm going to have to change the name on the channel. I'm putting this on at the beginning of this video because this video was supposed to have been out last Wednesday. I tried to put it up Tuesday, and when I went to load it in, it kicked me off my channel. I had it saved to bookmarks, the YouTube Studios, and when I clicked on it, it asked me to sign in, which it doesn't usually do, but for some reason it did that day. And when I used my password that I set up when I lost it the first time for the very same reason. It just all of a sudden wouldn't let me in. It said my password was wrong. And I know I wrote the password down when I made that password because I do that all the time. I've got a book I put my passwords in. And it, for some reason, it kicked me off. And there's no way to get any support from YouTube. You can go to their forum and read through a bunch of stupid answers and stuff, and you have to go down through their whole list until you find something that lets you know what you might be able to do. But you could ask the question, how do I retrieve my channel back after it locking me out because the password it said was wrong was not? And it says, it gives you a bunch of answers that have absolutely nothing to do with the question that you asked. Or you could go to their community and type in a question and wait for somebody to answer it, and then you get back answers that don't have anything to do with it because it's answers that's already been answered by somebody else for a different question. So I don't know what's going on with it. But anyway, I decided I've got two premium channels, or two premium sites. That one's just for watching YouTube, and the other one I was doing my rock videos on. And so I just decided to start a new account with the same title, except that it's Matt's Rocks 2 now. And I cannot get back into my other one and collect up the 266 people that have subscribed to my channel. So I'm hoping all of you will be watching this. It won't be just a subscribed and then stop watching it thing. But I wanted to put it on this video because I figure this video will get quite a few views because this is the video where I finished polishing these geodes on, or not geodes, but Brazilian agates and what was supposed to have been a geode. I got 3 Brazilian agates and what was supposed to be a geode. But anyway, I'm hoping this gets viewers of the loyal subscribers or the ones that watch it the most. And maybe I can earn my subscribers back because I don't have time to start over. I'm 66 years old, be 67 at the end of next month. But I wanted to try to get some more rock hounding videos and stuff done. But I don't have the money to do that because of the stuff I had to buy to get where I could go out there without having to pay for a hotel. Because I have to go quite a ways in order to get the kind of rocks I want, or quality rocks, I should say, because there's not a whole lot around where I live. I think the closest would be 6 hours away, and I still don't know how good that's going to be because I've not been there looking for any of them. I've got places, I've got people that are an organization that I can get information from on where to rock hound, but it's kind of vague and all of that. So it's still a matter of going out and trying to find it, and then once I find the place that I can look, then I can go back and forth there a few times. But until I do that, I know Montana and Utah, places out there that I can go, that I can find. Because I've watched other people doing it, but all of the other states I've not really seen all that many people, because when you go onto a site and watch a video, sometimes they don't even tell you what state they're in. They'll tell you what state they're in, but they won't tell you where they're at in that state. So, and I don't watch as many of them because some of them aren't as good as others, and it's just I don't have that kind of time because I'm still trying to work on rocks also at the same time. Plus, I've got other stuff to do. Life happens, and you just keep going. But anyway, I'm hoping that the people that are subscribed to Matt's Rocks will resubscribe or will subscribe to this channel, Matt's Rocks 2, because I cannot find it. I can watch it I can pull it up on my TV, and I can pull it up on my tablet, but I can't get into it to upload videos because the TV you can't upload videos from, and my tablet I could, but I have no way to put them on the tablet. and I don't know how long it would take to upload a 5 gig video. So I don't know. I've not used the tablet to do it, and it's I don't think there's even a SD card in it. I don't think you can put an SD card in it anymore. That's just like my phone. I can't put an SD card in my phone to add more storage to it. And my computer, it came with a 500 gigabytes of storage, and it's mostly taken up by the operating system for Microsoft. I can't even add the footage from one video on 2 cameras, so that it's double the length that I actually need. But I switch back and forth and drop a bunch of stuff out, but I can't even put all that footage into the computer because it says I'm full, and I don't have anything in documents except for rock hounding places, which are all kilobyte stuff, because it's all text and all of that, or a link, or there are links to a website where you can get on the website and get an active map that you can look for. You can work with the map, and it'll have the sites tagged where it's got a waypoint, whatever. But I I haven't had the money to go do that anyway. I'm trying to get up enough money or get up enough viewers where I can on YouTube where I can get sponsors and that type of stuff, or advertisers that I can go work with that'll help me out a little bit, because I don't imagine YouTube's going to pay a whole lot and I'm not going to get to 4,000 viewers, which is what it takes to get monetized on YouTube. Not very quick, I don't think. It seems like, because I've been on there a year. Last October is when I started. A year ago, last October is when I started, so it's a year and 3 months. 3 months, a little over a year and 3 months. But anyway, I'm taking up too much time because it was already a 30-minute video. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here, and I hope you guys will follow me to this new channel so that I can, and I've got it on my computer, and I saved the password to the computer, which is something that I hardly ever do. Just because there's so many people out there trying to steal from everybody else. Not videos, but money. So if they can get in on one password, they get into your computer on one password, why couldn't they get into your computer and do other stuff besides what that password lets them into? So anyway, thanks, and here's the video. Well, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got an apology to make first. It's noon, 12:15 actually, on Wednesday. And I was supposed to have a video out 6 o'clock this morning, but I was having trouble. I figured I would have an easier time. I've almost had 3 agates and a geode from the buddy of mine that gave me them geodes to cut. Then I give them all back to him after I polished them, cut them and polished them. And I had 1 more geode left that I couldn't polish because I didn't have anything big enough. And then I had, for cutting video number 4, I cut 3 Brazilian agates and made to make samples out of them. They're nodules, so I just cut them in half. And Here's one of the first ones. I finally got them finished just a few minutes ago. And I'm going to show them to you. Not a water spot. Must be an eye. Got a perfect circle on there. I was having a little trouble with them. This one didn't quite polish around these bottom edges. I don't know if that's because it's got softer stuff in it or if it just wouldn't get out to it. I just didn't let it get out to it. But it took me 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. It's been a while. I didn't even look to see the date on when I made that video, or I just checked the videos to find out which one it was that I cut these on so that I could mark it down for you. And I still got a little bit of scrubbing left to do on these. They still got some cerium oxide on them from the final polish. But there's the first one. But anyway, I was having trouble. It's the first time I used it vibratory lap, and I was trying to figure out how to get them weighted down. And most of the first grinding, I didn't have any weights on them because I couldn't figure out anything to stay on them. Or couldn't get anything to stay on the rock itself. I tried hot glue, but it wouldn't stick to the rocks for some reason. Well, it's probably because I was trying to spread too much glue before I put the weight on it. It probably cooled off and didn't stick to anything because it wasn't pushed down into the pits and imperfections on the rock. But they were also weird shaped. This one's got such a dome on it that I had to put what I ended up doing was rolling masking tape or duct tape backwards with the sticky side out and making little tubes and sticking them on, going across, and it would tip after a while and getting wet and spraying. I'd use a little pump spray bottle, use one of my spray bottles on mist and mist the top of it just to keep them spinning. And I was having a heck of a time keeping them spinning. And I had to figure out a way to keep my bumpers from being in the way. The plastic hose or rubber hose that you put around that I put around them to keep them from bumping into each other on the machine as they were spinning around and moving on the machine. You don't want them beating against each other on the sides. That's got glue on it. How that got glue on it? Maybe that's not glue. Maybe that's just oh, that's polished from the rubber being around it because it was too close. I was also having a hard time figuring out how to cut those where they'd come in close enough. Now I can't remember which one I showed you. It was this one. There's the other half. But they do have a spectacular polish on them. I like that polish. And I could not get that with my flat lap to save my soul. Anyway, that's the first one. But I ended up having to take 4 of them back. So after I started on the polish, the first polish I tried using was my normal polish that I use when I'm tumbling, which is a aluminum oxide micro crystal or whatever. It's a small crystal, real small sized grit. And this one, I like the fortification lines in it. It's a water line, and then it's got that top pocket with the regular fortification lines around it. I still got to do a little, and I'm also going to soak these in, yeah, this one polished on the outside edge too a little bit. Just from that, it's got a couple of spots around here. So that's what that's from. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. This one still has some fractures in it, but I think those were in there to begin with because this side's just beat all the crap. And it was like that when I cut it because both sides are beat up like that. And here's the second one. And it's got internal microfractures or internal fractures coming down along this side on this one. The other one had them too. Or yeah, this side. I was pointing to the right side, but I thought I wasn't. When I turned it around, it looked like I wasn't. But anyway, I was having trouble getting them to polish with that. That aluminum oxide didn't seem to want to really do anything. So I went on ahead and ordered 3 more pads because you use a felt pad on there. The first one worked just fine with the hose that goes around the outside. Is supposed to hold that pad down to keep that pad from moving. And then the second one I got, or the next when I got the new pads, I already had cerium oxide. I just hadn't used any of it yet. And it was the first time I used cerium oxide. And so I put that on there, and the new pads that I bought were that far away from touching, about 2 or 3/16 of an inch away from touching the outside edge of the pan. So I was having a hard time keeping it from spinning as the rocks were spinning, which you don't want because that lessens the amount of movement the rocks are having because the pad's riding with them most of the time. And so I need to stop talking. Well, I'm trying to show these off for something because I keep spitting on them. But anyway, that's why. So I just clamped the hose or clamped the tube down on the pad with a couple of little 6-inch long wood clamps that you got a little handle that you squeeze till they come together, till the jaws come together, and I stuck them over the sides of the pan and pushed down on the pad at the same time so that it would hold the pad in place. And I got most of them polished, but for some reason on these Brazilian agates I was getting, and it was from one of the other grits. I think it was the 600 or the 1200. One of them, for some reason, I was getting little spirograph swirls all over the place on them, and it didn't look like scratches. It looked like metal from the pan had got on there and left metal residue. Well, it would not polish out, and when I did finally get it to polish out like this, it was scratches, but I couldn't see them after the 1200 grit because it was still a little dull finish on there. So I took it back to the 1200 grit again and thought I had them all out and started polishing them again, and I got all of them but this last one. This is the one that I just finished this morning because it still had one spot where there was just a circle of those little swirls and loops. And so I polished it yesterday or run it on the 1200 grit yesterday, and then finished it up this morning, and I finally got it done this morning. So, but here's the third one. By then it was too late to start another one. By yesterday afternoon, it was too late to start on this cab because this cab's going to take 8 or 9 hours to do, I would say. More than likely, maybe not. It's a little thinner. It's not one of the 3/8 or 3/4 inch or 3/8 inch slabs. Maybe it is 3/8. No, that's not a 3/8. That's a 1/2 inch. Or, yeah. 3/8 is bigger than a 1/2 inch. No, it's not either. It's a little less than a 1/2 inch. So this is the 3/8. But it still don't seem as thick as some of the other ones I've done. I think it's because some of them I cut thicker on purpose because I knew I was going to have to make samples out of them. because they were just too big, and I didn't want to break up the pattern. But anyway, I'll start on that one. This isn't going to take long, and I don't know if I showed that good enough without any lights on it for you to see that. I'm also going to show these on the other. And here's the second half of that agate. And like I said, it's got a heck of a polish on it. Why is that light splitting like that? That's different. Oh, I know why. So I'm getting a reflection of the that edge right there that's sticking out. That's the edge of the monitor on the camera. But anyway, uh, I forgot where I was at. I finally got it polished this morning, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna show these on this other camera with it zoomed in too. So we'll go back. Oh, I haven't shown the last one yet. This was the one that he thought it was geodes. The buddy that helped put our roof on, my brother went to school with, and or I shouldn't say help. He, he was part of the crew that put our roof on. And when I said helped, it made it sound like I helped. I sure didn't. But it turns out it's not a geode, but it's not anything I want to keep. I didn't want to keep any of them, really. Even the geodes, they did look good. A lot of them were mostly just solid quartz. But this one's got quartz down in here. This is all quartz, and then this is all agate up in here. But it's not a real good agate. But hopefully maybe I can get it to wink back at you. It's got a lot of crystals in it, a lot of crystalline quartz in it, in all the agate and all of that. This has got quartz mixed in with it, where the white dendrites are at. It's not a bad looking rock, but I didn't have anything I could polish it with. There's no way I could have polished on this and left it flat. And I don't like rounding them off. Although I may start doing that more often, like on these, because I don't think I'd be able to keep this spinning, and I'd only be able to get 2 or 3 of them on at a time. And the weights would be wider, because with something like this, it's 4 inches, probably 4 inches long. I'd have to have 4 pounds of weight on it, according to the instructions on the flat lap. And the little square weights that I've made are about that big and only weigh about 1.85 pounds, 1.9, somewhere around in there. But anyway, here's the other half of that white geode agate, or not, I can't really call it a geode because it's not a geode. It was thought to be a geode, as I'm assuming is why they picked it up. It's shaped like a geode, mostly. It would make you think it's a geode, but it's just a little heavy. And the guy that picked him up, I don't know how old he was at the time, but he's not around anymore. He passed away. And so that's why I wanted to give him back to him, so they'd have something to remember him by. And maybe it'd help if he's able to see down here. He could see what they looked like that he never got to see what they looked like before. I don't know. But anyway, now we'll show them on the other. I'll go in the same order too. We'll show them on the other one zoomed in. And I can get this bigger light on there. Or not bigger, better, I'd say. It's not that it's closer or anything, but these are nice looking agates. I like them. I just wish they had a little bit more variety of color in them. The one with the water line in it isn't all that bad at all anyway, but this has got a quartz pocket. There's a few little pits in this side, and the other half's got a few little pits in it too. But they had fractures, and I figured I'd be better off just cutting it into a big sample than cutting it into smaller samples like this, because I still got a bunch of those in a box over there. And then I think one of them, it was the last one, I believe. No, it must have been one of the others. I had one that right at just in from the edge. Okay, I just haven't gotten to it yet. Just in from the edge of it, I'll show it to you. Just in from the edge of it, there's a hole, and you can see that it's open to the lower edge. There's the other half of it. And there is with the light on it. That light is almost clear in there in the reflection. The outline of that light, it's just a little bit fuzzy. They got nice water lines in them. Like I said, I just wish they were a little more brightly colored, but you get what you pay for. And I don't know of too many Brazilian agates like this one has got a lot of different colors in it. I've had some with orange and yellow. I don't believe I've had too many with a bright red, like a fire engine type red. This one's got all kinds of quartz in this down in here, in these water lines. And that looks like it's kind of almost was a real fast fill, because I'm assuming, just the way I feel it, because it's not really definitive water lines. You can see them there, but they're not thin like the other water lines. So I'm thinking this stuff was still kind of a gel of minerals on the lower level when the next level come in, and it kind of mixed them, is what I'm thinking. They kind of mixed together because it wasn't completely solidified yet. And then it solidified before that lower bright white line. And the ones underneath it don't look like they come all the way up to the surface. The lines there. Not that you can see many of them. Now this one here, this line right here, looks like a fracture, because you can see the let's see if I can get it to show up. Might be hard to do. Anyway, it's got a line across. It's got a line in it that looks like a scratch or a fracture, and it goes all the way across that pocket from there to there. And here's the other half of it. And it's got the same line on that lower solid white line showing, and that's the only one going across. But there's some more of those internal fractures from all that when it got beat. It was probably when it was mined. There's also little areas underneath the side where it's gone in underneath what's been polished of the outside edge. This isn't it. This one, the lines are a little harder to see in it, but they're there. And the polish on these is just great. And it said this polish might take longer than all of the rest of them, but I don't see that. I think the only reason why I didn't is because in my case, I was using too thin of a blade, and so it was kind of curving. It was going through. No, I was looking at it a minute ago. Maybe it's on the, oh, it's on the other, it's on that geode, what they thought was a geode. This one's got really good lines in it. And I kind of like this little, I think that's, I don't know if that's a fill line or if that's where it was coming in and filled there first. I would think this is probably the fill line, probably right in there somewhere. But I can't tell because of the way it's broke out. But I still got, you can see the pink on it. There's a little bit of pink on the underneath side, or on the outside edge of this up in here. It's from the, and I scrubbed these with a brush, but evidently I didn't scrub them good enough. It's still got cerium oxide on it. That's part of the reason why I didn't want to use cerium oxide, because it's pink and most of the stuff I polish is white-ish. No, I'll be gosh darn. I can't find that hole. Maybe it didn't go, maybe it didn't show daylight. Maybe it was just a pit out near the edge. But this is the one with this got quartz all in here, and let's see if I can get it to sparkle at you. A little bit. There's quite a few of them. They're mostly all on this half, and up and then up around, or in this half, and then up around this top section. But there's all kinds of little crystals there with little cleavage plane faces flashing light back at you. And here's the other half of it. And I can't find that hole that had light coming through it. And this is the, yeah, this is basically the same as the other one. Maybe I can get it to flash back at you. I can't tell. But anyway, this is going to be a short video. So it shouldn't take me but about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to edit it. I still do have some rough edges around the outside of this one. This is the third agate. So, and it's got a little bit of rough edges around here where it looks like it was softer, but it's just basically pitted. And it's just in this little area right here. But it was hard to get it, and it's got a shiny line all the way around the outside bottom of it. On that right in there anyway. But I'm not going to let that worry me any, because that's not hurting anything. And it's not taking away anything, but you can see all the pink in this right here. Well, I didn't get all that out. I'm going to soak them for a little bit before I scrub them again. And then I'm going to coat them down with mineral oil so they darken up and don't look so dull and nasty. This one I'm not going to worry about because it's not going to make any difference. That's different. I didn't use any glue on this. But if you look, that's a dip right there. And the rubber I was using is round. It's just a rubber hose that I've put together. And at the open end, you take a piece of smaller hose with the same outside diameter as the inside diameter of the first hose, and put it in between just cut off a little section of it and put it in between the two, and that'll hold the two ends together, and you've got a round circle. And I don't know how this got that shiny in that indentation, because it goes around the edges. It's like a hump there, but it goes around the edges and inside also. So evidently it must have just built up enough grit on the inside of that to polish it, because I have not used any glue on these to stabilize them or anything. That's just different, because you wouldn't think that that hose would be sticking over it like this rather than going down inside to make it shiny. But anyway, let's stop there so I can get this edited and up. And I'm not going to schedule this one. I'm just going to upload it and publish it at the same time. So, but anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and again apologize for this being so late. It's not that late. It's still Wednesday, but it makes me feel bad because I promised to. I usually like to get them out midnight on the day of, but I don't know if that's happening anyway. At least not here, in this time zone, in the time zone I'm using. So we'll figure it out. I don't know that it matters that much, because they'll be up for ever afterwards, or until people stop watching them anyway. But you can always go to the channel. That's one thing I haven't mentioned. I've got 2 playlists on there. When you go to the channel to look for videos, I've got a short playlist and a long playlist, and the long playlist is earlier footage, so the video is not quite as good a quality, and it was more to teach other people how to do it than just to show off the rocks. And I wasn't getting too many views, so I started shortening them up. And at first I'd put, some of them have short that I've edited twice, once with a long form and once with a short form. But I kind of quit that fairly early on, and I've been on since October a year ago, more than a year ago, 2 years ago now, because it's 2026. Anyway, it was 2024, October 2024, when I started YouTube. And so I'm figuring out what you guys want to watch, or what you guys want to see. I hope. If I'm not, let me know. But anyway, thanks for watching, and you guys take care and have a good day.